All right.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back. You're listening to the Entrepreneurial Web. I'm your host, Jeremiah Fox. We're going live from New York City.
That's right.
What's up, NYC? Before I introduce my guest today, he's pumped. He's ready to go. We did a warm-up. We did a little jiu-jitsu warm-up. Do the countdown before I introduce him the message of the week. So I've been on a music kick lately. Last week, I quoted a musician, not a lyric.
Okay.
I quoted Bob Marley.
Oh, yes,
but something he said in an interview. Today, I'm going to quote a lyric.
All right.
Let's see. Oh, man. I can't mess this one up.
No, better not. Pressure.
I forgot what it was going to be. Oh, my God. Man, we'll come back to that.
All right. All right.
We'll come back to the message of the week. I didn't write it down. I usually write it down, but I'm so pumped and excited. It's going to come to me.
If you don't know your history, then you don't know where you're coming from.
I got it. Play us a song, Mr. Piano Man. Play us a song tonight. We're all in the mood for a melody, and you got us feeling all right.
Yes.
I'm not going to say who it is. If you're under 40 and you don't know, you need to go do some homework. If you're over 40 and you don't know, I don't know, you're in trouble. It's funny. Maurice is looking at me like, oh, what's he talking about? What's up, Mary Condi? Good to see you again. So with that, I'm going to introduce my good friend. He is a training partner of mine at Sun Dojo, where we do jiu-jitsu and kickboxing together. He is a fantastic DJ. He throws the skinny beats and the fat beats, and he makes people feel good. He gets people feeling all right with his tunes, which is why I chose that quote. And like I said, I'm on a music kick. I can't believe I forgot. Anyways, without further ado, DJ David Medina. What's up, David?
What's up? What's up, New York City? I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man.
Awesome. So you're a Brooklyn native, yeah?
Yes. Born and raised. Williamsburg, Brooklyn, man.
Nice,
Southside.
nice.
Los Sures, official.
And of Brazilian descent.
No, Dominican.
Why did Charlie tell me you were Brazilian?
Because he's a liar. I'm not Brazilian, man. I love Brazilian music.
Porra, caralho.
I've been
he just tuned in. Chico the man. I swear you told me this dude was Brazilian.
No, he lied to you. No, I'm Dominican.
It's because he was trying to get me intimidated. He was like, I gotta.
Yeah, he's got
in the dojo. Yeah, it's in the
like,
DNA. Oh my God.
No.
Oh my God. I could be mistaken about all this.
Yeah, right.
My credibility has been challenged from the beginning.
I'm going to take over the show now.
I couldn't remember Billy Joel's lyric.
You're fired.
All right, peace out, guys.
All right, thank you. Okay, so now let me talk about me. Actually,
let's talk about
me, right?
you. It's your turn. You're up.
All right, so yeah, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, Williamsburg, Dominican descent. My parents came here from the DR. And you know, I basically, you know, I'm number 4 of 5 kids.
Woo.
So yeah, big family, 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
In the ghetto, because Williamsburg was a lot different back
Much
then.
different back then.
Oh yeah. I survived Williamsburg. But
I can't survive it today.
No, me neither, man.
Man,
you know?
I played a show on Bogart or one of those funky little strips I hadn't been to in like 15 years. I hopped in a car and I was like, get me out of here. And the driver's like, what's the matter? You don't come around here much? And I was like, man, I used to hang around here all the time. It wasn't like this. I liked it better when we used to get robbed, to be honest. I was just like, get me out of here.
I don't know about that.
Mauricio está aquí.
All right. So, but yeah, so it was, we're talking about Williamsburg?
Yeah.
Okay. It was tough. It was tough, you know, but it was great too. You know, it was like, everyone was kind of in the same situation, you know, kind of poverty and struggling, but everyone trying to make it, you know, trying to figure, not everyone. Some people were just coasting, you know. But my family in particular was very, you know, work oriented. You know, my dad, you know, worked, he did everything. Actually, let me talk about my dad for a little bit.
Go for
Love
it,
my
please.
father. He passed away in 2001, but
Sorry,
my dad was the focus of my whole life in a way. And my mom too, obviously. But my dad was a dancer in the DR, in the Dominican Republic. He was a folkloric dancer. So there was a conga drum in the house, and there was always great music, you know, from like traditional Dominican merengue and mangolina and all these different types of music and dance that he would do. To like mambo, he loved Perez Prado, like Cuban, like old school Cuban mambo and stuff. He loved that, which is what instilled me into loving Cuban music. And we could talk about that a little bit later.
We will.
That was actually how I really launched as a DJ.
Yeah.
So, que viva Cuba, you know. But So yeah, so my dad was a folkloric dancer, but you know, you can't make a living as a folkloric dancer. He came here and did everything. No, he couldn't at least. So he came here and brought my mom over, and my eldest sister was actually born in the Dominican Republic, and she was 2 when my mom and her and my eldest sister came to the U.S. So he worked every type of job imaginable, you know, with not even a high school degree, you know. Mm-hmm. And he actually did get his high school diploma here.
Okay.
And he ended up working the most years until, you know, he retired, was as a janitor at Lenox Hill Hospital up here in Manhattan. So, and my mom worked in a factory sewing, you know, so it was like very blue collar, very, you know, humble. And I grew up with music all around, you know, like I said, my dad had a great collection. My mom used to sing songs while she was in the kitchen, like boleros and baladas and all these types of songs, and Mexican rancheras. She used to like a lot of those like Mexican boleros and things like that too. So I grew up with all this music at home, and like, you know, growing up in Brooklyn, you open up a window and you hear music from everywhere. You know, seriously. So, you know, and I was around for the birth of hip hop. You know, I'm that old. You know, so
we know.
Yeah, you know, I got some braids, you know, going. But grew up with the birth of hip hop, so you know. Sugar Hill Gang, have the record from when we bought it when it came out, you know, I have it on my wall, you know. And so grew up with all of this music, of Latin music at home, hip hop and funk and soul and Motown. I mean, you name it, I was on it. You know, I loved music as a kid, and I loved art. So I was a bit of a nerdy kid, actually. Don't tell anyone, but I was a bit of a nerd. I was home reading comic books and playing with my G.I. Joes. And
didn't see that one coming.
No. I was kind of nerdy. I was kind of quiet, you know, as a little kid. And that love of comic books actually got me to like drawing, and I became kind of an artist, you know. And in high school,
where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school actually a few blocks from here. Graphic Communication Arts.
No kidding.
GCA.
Nice.
I hated it.
Is it still here?
If I didn't burn it down, it's probably still there.
Actually, I burned it. That's what I thought.
No, I hated high school. It was terrible.
Yeah. Oh, I hated
it was like being in prison.
Yeah.
It really was. There was gangs running it. It was fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
But anyway, I survived that too. I survived Williamsburg. I survived high school, and my saving grace was getting to college. You know, and here comes back to my mom and dad. You know, they were like, we don't necessarily care what you do, but you got to go to school, and you got to make something of yourself. Because that's why we came to this country. Right. You know, you got to go to school, get a degree, get a job. I went to art school. So you should
have been a dancer.
I know, right? I studied sculpture while I was in school. I went to Alfred University. I know. I was like, yes, I'm going to make a living, Dad.
Like, Dad, we thought you didn't make money as a dancer. I'm going to make even less.
Yes.
Where did you go to school?
Alfred University.
Where's Alfred again? Remind me.
It's in the western part of New York State. So it's like 2 hours, I think, south of Rochester and Buffalo.
I went to school in Buffalo, and Patty went to school in Rochester. Yeah,
that's so funny. I partied in your schools probably because there was nothing to do with Alfred.
That's why I was like, I know the name Alfred, but I don't remember.
It's actually a really good school, or was. I'm not sure anymore. I haven't stayed in touch, but it was a great school for ceramic engineering, great art program. I mean, I was like really with top-notch artists there.
That reminds me, I saw something the other day, and I posted it on Facebook, but I got to just share it because you might get a kick out of this. It was a picture, and it was like Stairway to Heaven. And it says, when someone from Western New York goes to heaven, God, welcome. An angel will be here soon with your wings. Western New Yorker, don't forget the blue cheese. No, not that kind of. Actually, that sounds pretty good.
That's
pretty awesome.
That is. Oh my God, it's true.
Western New York.
We used to dip our pizza in blue cheese.
Dude,
oh my God, I was like, that was so kind of really. It was a little gross, but
I took it to the next level. I made a buffalo shrimp sushi roll. I did shrimp tempura, and I took the celery and sliced it long and thin, and rolled it with the shrimp, and I put like real blue cheese, not blue cheese dressing, but like gorgonzola. I molded it and made it long, and then sliced the sushi rolls. Dude, it was fantastic. It was like,
that sounds pretty good, actually.
I was like, I'll put it to anything. No, this is for fun. But like, there's so many things you could do with that.
I know
those 3 components.
It's so true.
Frank's hot sauce. Oh my God,
so true.
So yeah, continue about Alfred
blue
and chicken wings.
And blue cheese into blue cheese.
We're just going to talk about blue cheese from here on
with
out.
Like being super. You know, what do you do in school when you're a kid, you know, a lot of drinking,
Drinking and eating blue cheese.
And, you know, actually, I skipped something important that I did want to bring up.
Bring it up.
Before I was in college, back in high school, I got all alternative too. So my music wasn't only just like what was on the radio,
like what,
hip
like
hop,
Morrissey or
yeah, I liked, you know, like the Smith, but really
Yeah.
like punk. Like I got really, really into punk when I was like early high school.
Yeah.
Like once I got into high school,
Same
I really
here.
got into like, well, I got into like Slayer, obviously,
Yeah.
you know. Rain and Blood, best album, man.
no, but the Dead Kennedys changed my
Dead
life.
Kennedys,
Yeah.
freaking love the
Big
Dead
time.
Kennedys. And I really got into the lyrics, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
metal was great. Like I actually started hanging out with like a lot of guys in the neighborhood. Not a lot. We were just a
There
small
were like 3 of you.
contingent of weirdo Latinos that were
That were
like
into
into
metal.
metal and punk, like, you know, with the leather jackets and the spikes and the exploited
Dude,
skull
yeah.
on the back.
That
and,
was me too.
I had the Mr. T-Hawk for very, very little,
Yep.
you know, little bit of time because my mom was like, "You are not wearing that in this
Right,
house." It's
yep.
like, "What did you do to your head?" I was like, "Well, Mom, but you know, I'm cool."
I did that same surprise. I came home, my mom was like, what? And lifted my hair up because it was long. And she was like, it was like bicked, man, bicked all underneath.
I thought she was gonna kick me out of the house. I
Yeah,
was like,
no.
like, but you're Dominican. What is this?
I got kicked out of the house
That's
a
the
couple
devil
times.
stuff.
Yeah.
But she wasn't that bad, honestly. She just didn't like the haircut. She was
Yeah.
like, "What are you doing to your
I
head?" So I had to wear like a hat in the house. I was like, all right, Mom, we'll survive this. We'll survive this. I'm not an idiot, you know. But yeah, so I got really into because this is when music really became important to me.
Yeah,
It's like,
right.
you know, that age.
Those
So I didn't want to
years, yeah.
skip that. I didn't want to skip that.
Yeah.
So in that like junior high school age, I really got into like punk and alternative music. Went to a couple of shows. So this, you know, Suicidal Tendencies. Met a good friend there actually at Suicidal Tendencies at Lemore's in Brooklyn. Lemore's. Does anyone remember Lemore's? And who else did I see there? I think White Zombie.
Oh,
White
yeah,
Zombie
definitely.
before what's his name?
Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie
Yeah.
became so famous. It was like White Zombie. Who's that? They opened up for
You know who I'm
Suicidal, I
going to
think.
see next week? You remember Mario from the dojo?
Yes, of course.
So his band Spotlights, which is hardcore crunchy metal.
No
Shout out
way.
to Spotlights and Mario.
Awesome.
They're opening for Mr. Bungle, who haven't
Mr.
played
Bungle.
together. They're
Since the
touring.
90s. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And I was having trouble finding tickets, and I was like, Mario, can you get me in? He's like, nope. I was like, I'll carry drums. I'll do anything. He's like, nope. But I kept looking, and I finally found a ticket because they were like really sold out. And when I went to book, they announced that Scott Ian and Dave Lombardo are going to be on the set, and I just was like, I should be paying more.
Oh my God. That's
Yeah, it's
Dave
Brooklyn's-
Lombardo, Slayer, and Scotty and
from
Anthrax.
Anthrax. Yeah.
Oh,
It's at Brooklyn Steel, Monday, February 10th.
Wow.
And Mr. Bungle.
And it's sold out.
I think they opened up some tickets, but they're like 150. You know, I was like, I still was like, I should be paying more now. Like I was like, I'll tip you at the door. This is
that's
fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm totally bummed.
Wow. Yeah. So music. Yeah. So that was, you know, music became the most important thing in my life, and that was during my punk rock phase. And Jello Biafra, Dead Kennedys, those lyrics. I mean, I really got into that. I was like, this is it. You know, right
definitely.
there. And it was like Public Enemy was one of my favorite bands from like high school. Public Enemy, Bad Brains, Dead Kennedys, and then of course Tribe Called Quest when they came out was just like,
dude, you're telling my story. It's like all that
that's it
stuff
right
got
there.
shook up in a
That right
cocktail
there.
shaker, and
it was like peace and love and revolution, and it makes sense.
and
to
a
me.
hard backbeat,
and a hard backbeat
with
Whether it's
distortion or
hip-hop
without.
yeah,
yeah,
it's like with metal
definitely.
guitars or with like just beats. So
Man, straight up.
that was
amazing.
my youth.
Awesome.
My youth.
Cool. Well,
And Latin music in the background.
We're going to take a break from your youth for a moment. We'll be back in a
Yes.
few. We'll talk about what it's like being all grown up, David. Now.
Well,
No, okay. All right, everybody. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in a few. You're listening to Entrepreneurial Web.
Peace.